So there are countless stories I have about weak tenant screening and what that can do. I have, back to my first rental, like at this point, I didn't know much about property management. I was certainly not an expert at that point. I think we did have a written application because that was like that was expected. I wanted to be professional at some point, but I don't, like, looking back, I don't even think we ran credit or background or anything. We basically just had a conversation with the folks and said, hey, this person really seems great. And that can really come back to bite you in the butt. In this particular case, it did. So that tenant was there for probably 2 years, but she ended up doing what we call midnight move, which is like they don't tell you, they literally just move, and you're not at the property every day, ideally. And we didn't know that, so she had stopped paying the gas bill. The heat was turned off, and in the middle of winter, now we have a busted pipe and thousands of dollars worth of damage. So we see things like that all the time, and it's tough because you want to have a big heart, from a human standpoint, like you feel for folks. But again, like, real estate is a business, and you have to make this a process, a system, and you have to screen, accordingly. And in addition to that, in addition to just finding highly qualified tenants, like that like we've built a framework and a process around that. But there's also like the other aspect of the legality behind it. So there is, discrimination. Like, that is a real thing. And if you don't have a tried and true system that is set in stone, and you're not looking at every single application the same way, then you, whether you know it or not, are discriminating. And it's not, it doesn't mean you're doing it in a bad way. It just, hey, if you make an exception for this person, it's a single mom and I feel bad for her, but you just disqualified somebody else because of it. Like, that in itself, again, it wasn't like you weren't trying to hurt anybody or do anything wrong, but that in itself by definition is discrimination, and you could be liable, for a big lawsuit. Tenant screening is extremely important, and you have to dial it in. And it took us a long time and many different iterations. So what we've ended up doing is building out a framework or a scorecard. And we have things like credit score, which is very, very important. You might have criminal background. You might have a very popular one is income. You typically want to see 3 times the rent in monthly income. Or savings. Do they have a cushion? Like, if for whatever reason car breaks down, do they have X amount of dollars in their bank account over the last 3 months to get them through that and still pay rent on time? So we've built out this framework, and that has allowed us to basically put it on a point system. And we never, we don't have to make gut, calls anymore. We don't have to say, oh, this person looks really good. It's just you enter all the data, and either they meet the points requirement or it doesn't. And that has really helped us, create an efficient process. And again, keep the process, like keep running applications through that process the same way every single time. So there is no possibility of discrimination. Every single candidate is looked at the exact same way.